It's 176 miles to Baton Rouge. I've got a full tank of gas, a liter of coffee. It's dark and I'm wearing sunglasses. Hit it. I'm Big Lou and you're watching Big Lou Barbecue and other things I want to do. And today I want to give you a review of this Ñuke Wood Fired Oven. I've had it approximately 6 weeks now. It's really a cool oven. I'm going to tell you how I acquired it. I'm going to talk about 3 issues I've had with it. Because if I do a review, there's going to be something negative I find, all right? So I'm going to talk about 3 issues I had with it, and then I'm going to talk to you about how much I like it. So if you're interested in the wood-fired oven, this might be a choice for you. It's made in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and it's made by the folks at Ñuke. They make the gaucho grill you've seen me cook on before called the Ñuke Delta. And I was contacted by the folks at Ñuke Barbecue USA, formerly Real Fire Barbecue, on about mid-February, and said that they had an oven at Barbecue Guys over in Baton Rouge. Barbecue Guys is a big barbecue distributor out of Baton Rouge. Well, Baton Rouge is my hometown. I was born there, all right? In fact, it's located about a mile from the hospital I was born in, all right? And so I'm familiar with where that is. Anyway, Matthew said they had used it, but there's some instructions on the first page about heating it up to 482 degrees for about an hour to cure the paint, and said that the folks at Barbecue Guys, when they were testing it out, did not cure the paint, and some of the paint had begun to peel. And I said, well, he said, but you can have the oven. We're going to try to ship it to you. And waited a week or so, proved out shipping was a little hard because it had been uncrated from the shipping container. They had it wrapped on pallet wrap and stuff. I didn't know that at the time. And I said, hey, it's not hard for me to drive over to Baton Rouge. I'm familiar with Baton Rouge, know right where Barbecue Guys is, and I'm off work on such and such a day, March 7th, and I can go over there and get it. So I did. I drove over there, and the folks at Barbecue Guys couldn't have been nicer. I went to the showroom, as you saw at the opening segment. They didn't know who I was. They didn't care who I was. I told them who I needed to meet. They said he was in a meeting, but they made another call. He had left a message for me to go to warehouse number 3 and to drive around the block, go into the warehouse district. They had 4 huge warehouses there, and the road that went around the other side looked like they might have had 1 or 2 other warehouses. You can see what it looked like inside the warehouse. All right, so they told me to back my truck in there, got on the forklift, picked it up on the pallet, put it on my truck, and I was back here to my home in West Louisiana. All right. So let me show you what it looked like when I got it, and you'll see why I have these paint splotches on here. All right. Well, it may have been at Barbecue Guys for quite some time because it was dusty on the top. I had to take the fire tiles out just to get it out of the truck. Inside the cooking chamber, there was some stuff peeling off the top of the thing there. I don't know what that was, but I don't imagine there was paint in the cooking chamber. I didn't want to put paint in the cooking chamber either. But the fire chamber is a different story. There was a lot of paint peeling there, above the tiles and below the tiles. Remember, this has 2 chambers and 2 different exhausts on it. All right, so you could see all the bare metal in there. I wanted to make sure that all got covered with paint. So I covered everything with this Krylon High Heat Max paint, and I covered just the areas on the outside where I saw paint peeling, and bare metal. And I covered the entire inside of the firebox with paint. But the cooking chamber I covered with cooking oil, and I just tried to season it as you would carbon steel. That's what it looked like after I painted it. Fired it up to above 480 degrees. That's showing 400, but it was showing much more on the thermometer inside there, and I ran it for about 3 hours. I got that paint good and cured and haven't had any problems. All right. I fixed it. Yeah, it's got some paint splotches, but it hasn't affected the performance at all, okay? I got some high heat grill paint and put it on there, and it's been doing great. So when you see this on my channel, you say, what's those black marks on Big Lou's Ñuke oven? Now you know, I got it sort of secondhand. It had been used once, and I fixed that problem. Had another 2 issues though. One was with the wind, all right? I got a chimney stack on it that gets the smoke up ahead. See, I'm 6'3.5" or so. That smoke would be right in my face if I didn't use a chimney, all right? The folks at Barbecue Guys had included a chimney with it, so I had the chimney, but it wasn't working in the wind. This is what happened. This is how I kind of redneck rigged it for a while, and then I got a permanent fix. All right, I'm starting to get it going now. It's the 3rd time I fired it up, and I fired it up about an hour and a half ago, and really wasn't getting much going with it. Let me show you how the fire is going now. See, you can look in there, and we're doing great with the fire right now, and it's starting to heat up, and I'm getting a bed of coals, and I know that once I get it heated up, everything's gonna be okay. But it's March. I'm learning to use this thing in March, and what was happening was, at the top of the chimney, the wind was blowing over the top of the chimney, blowing the smoke and air, and it was coming back out of this vent door. And when it did that, of course, it's blowing my fire out, because I don't need smoke coming from here. This needs to draft in, and it needs to go out the top of the chimney. Now, there's a device that I saw sold on the Argentine website, productosñuke.com, I think. I'll have the down at the below. That's the Argentine website, but you can't order this stuff and get it here. It goes on top of the chimney to block the wind. I did not see that on UK Barbecue USA. I don't know if you'll be able to get one by calling their number. I haven't checked with them, but what I did is I fashioned something out of an old number 10 can that I had that I'd been using for another barbecue grill experiment. And I put some nails in it, and I stuck it. I didn't nail it through the top of the chimney. It's just resting on there. But now the wind can blow over the top, and then it's got room. You can see the wind, which way the wind's blowing. The wind's blowing that way, right? Okay, because it's blowing the thing over the side. But the wind can blow over the top, and then the smoke comes out right here and not that straight down that column. So now my fire is going well. So worked well when the wind wasn't bad, but when the wind's kind of bad today, it's March. Almost mid-March, and you know, it says it comes in like a lion, and it's still here like a lion. Hadn't gone out like a lamb yet, right? All right, so this is the chimney. Now, the oven works fine without the chimney, the flue, whatever you want to call it. The oven works fine without it, except that I'm about 6'3.5" or so. The top of the oven is about right here, and that means that smoke is coming all in my face. So by using the flue, that puts the smoke up at the top. Works just fine, except the other day when I was trying to cook some chicken legs and it was windy. What was happening was the wind would come in, blow down the pipe, and then blow smoke out the intake vents there out the front of the oven. And of course, that backdraft or whatever you call it, that downdraft, I don't know what you call it, but the wind coming in would cool off the oven and almost extinguish the fire, all right? If I had flames or something, then I just had some slightly glowing embers, but not very much. And so every time the wind would come in, and I had to figure out something. So I got that tin can to try to put on top of there, and that worked. I was able to get the temperature way, way up there. That's the day I did the thermometer check where it went over 600 degrees. So after I put that tin can on there, it was fine. Now what I did is I went to my local home improvement store. I'm gonna pull this sticker off of there, but got it on there so you can see what it is. This is a 4-inch gas vent pipe. Now, I'll just pull that off so I can show you. What happens is you see it's looks like that on the inside, and it's got this right here. So wind coming in should not blow down the pipe. It's also got a top on it for a rain cover. Got a little sticker where the barcode was. But anyway, this wasn't very expensive. They probably charging more than they ought to for it. I got it at the blue home improvement store. All right, not the orange one. We have 3 where I live, a blue one, a green one, and an orange one. Most people have the blue and orange ones. The green one's kind of regional, but I got it at the blue one, just so you know. All right, anyway, this is supposed to be, I don't know what the measurements are, but it looked like a 4-inch pipe to me. This says 4-inch, but it doesn't quite fit in there. It doesn't quite fit in. It's supposed to just slide in there. The 4-inch pipes at the store, it just slid in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try to get this to go in there, and I'm probably gonna just drill that rivet out. and drill that rivet out, I'll be able to taper it, and it should slide right in here. All right, I didn't have to drill it. I was able to just pop that rivet loose with a screwdriver right there. That should allow me to bend this in a little bit and taper it, and it should just fit. Yep, it's gonna fit right down in there, just like that. That works, guys. Gets all the way down to the clip. All right, looks a whole lot nicer than my rusty old number 10 can. That's the top of my flue, chimney, whatever you want to call it. Wind should not be an issue now. When you start your fire, just leave the door a little ajar. Works a little bit better. And as you can hear, it's quite windy out here, but that is working great. Absolutely fantastic. All right, wind issue completely solved. I've had no problems with the wind. Where I live after March, it doesn't get real windy in the summertime anyway if I'm using it. But when it is windy, I haven't had any trouble with it, with that thing on top of the flue or chimney or whatever you call it. Just working great. All right, the third issue, other than the paint and the wind. Once again, the paint was solved. It's not peeling, it's not rusted. Just have some areas where I had black, hot, high heat paint for it. Wind solved with the thing on top of the chimney is this thermometer right here. So it's showing 400 on the door thermometer, but I know it's much hotter on the inside. So I drop a probe inside the cooking chamber there through the exhaust port, and I check it with my electronic thermometer, and it goes way above 400 degrees, way above 500 degrees, and approaches 600 degrees before it just tells me it's really hot 3 times with 3 H's. Okay, let me show you what it looks like on the inside. You see, that's the inside right there. It's that part. It's just right here on the door. And now bimetal thermometers, these analog thermometers, they have a little spring and 2 coils of metal, and the metal heats up at a different rate and it makes a little dial move, okay? This is how these things work. Here is one from my Ñuke Delta grill. If you remember my video there, I was given 2. The Celsius one was installed on it, and then I had to put the one that had both the centigrade or Celsius, the metric, and the Fahrenheit thing on it. So this is the Celsius one from that, but it's the same deal as this. All right. You see, it's got that little spring in there, that little coil. Okay. And if you look at that little coil, as it heats up, one of the metals heats up faster than the other, and the spring expands, and it makes the thing move. They work. They've been around for nearly 200 years. They were invented in the 1700s, so well over 200 years, almost 300 years, yeah. You know, and they work, but they're not always as accurate as a digital thermometer. But this one is not as accurate as maybe it should be. I think the one on my grill works fine because it's a grill. But this one, you know, like I showed you, it is right here at the door. So it's measuring the heat right here. It doesn't measure the heat in the back of the oven. So, you know, I use one of these oven type thermometers for it, but it doesn't go over 600 degrees. The oven does. So I can't use it if I'm trying to heat it up for pizza or something. Now I mentioned, or if I haven't mentioned yet, I want to mention IQ Cooking. Victor runs that channel. He speaks Spanish, and he does a review in Spanish of this oven. He's got one of those infrared guns. He gets this thing up above 700 degrees. There's no doubt in my mind this thing can go above 700 degrees. All right, but I can't count on this thermometer either, and it only goes up to about 600 degrees too. So I think I need to get me one of those infrared thermometers. I've been thinking about replacing that thermometer, you know, it looks like this, with one like this that has a probe on it. This one won't fit. I've already tried it. All right, but you see it's got a probe. That way when it would stick further deeper into the oven and maybe give me a more accurate reading. So I may replace that with one that has a probe on the back. But probably what I'm gonna do is just get one of those infrared guns, and then I can shine it in through the top up there where the exhaust for the moisture and stuff comes out. Not the smoke, but there's 2 exhaust ports, one for the cooking chamber, one for the fire chamber, right? And I can just shine it in there and see what the temperature is. And I'll probably just solve the issue by getting me an infrared gun, but I may put something like this on it at first. So anyway, those are the 3 issues, okay? The thermometer, the wind, the paint. All can be easily dealt with. All right, let me show you how much fun I've had. I've cooked a lot of things in this. I've cooked a lot more things than I've videoed or taken pictures of too. Those smell delicious. Just scratch your screen right there and smell them. Just scratch your screen and smell those. What, they don't have scratch and sniff YouTube yet? Come on, guys. Buttermilk biscuits baked in a wood fire oven. Boy, oh boy, those look good. Those biscuits were the very first thing I cooked in it the day after I seasoned the paint. Then I made some cornbread, used some of that cornbread and tamale pie bell peppers. There's a video for that down below in the Ñuke playlist in the description box. Those were delicious. Also had some roasted onions and garlic in it that day. And then I made a lot of other things like these teriyaki chicken legs. I actually made these the day that I was having the trouble with the wind issues and put the number 10 can on top. There's a 16-inch large pizza from Walmart, the Take and Bakes. I just did it right on the fire tiles, used the fire tiles as a pizza stone. Came out great, and that's when I knew this was going to be a great pizza oven. Here's some Oysters Rockefeller. I've got a video for it. It's also down below in the description box. Some chicken breast, meatloaf. All these have videos. And I cooked 3 crawfish pizzas at the same time in the oven. Okay, so I had 3 issues. The paint, solved. And that was because I got it secondhand and I knew that'd go in. All right. The wind, solved. Not a problem. The thermometer, I can deal with it. I can live with it. Not a big deal. And I can make the adjustments I need to make. Other than that, this is a well-made unit, made in Buenos Aires by the folks at Ñuke. I've enjoyed having the Delta grill. I've had it for nearly a year now. It's a fantastic grill. This is well-made too. This is what they call a white wood oven. All right, you're saying, well, it's charcoal gray and you got those black spots where you covered up paint. Well, yeah, but it's still called a white wood oven. See, wood ovens come in 2 forms, white and black, all right? A black wood oven is what you may be familiar with, those brick pizza ovens. They sort of look like a dome, a lot of them. But what it refers to is a wood oven where the food is cooked in the same chamber with the fire, all right? And you put a fire over on the side, they'll put a pizza or whatever food they're baking inside that oven, and the dome or the top, the inside gets covered with soot, a lot like the top of your barbecue grill, and that's why they're called a black wood oven. A white wood oven is a wood oven where the fire chamber is separated from the cooking chamber. This cooking chamber is totally separate, all right? And I'll tell you, another fella that's got one of these is Russ Jones over at Russ Jones Smoky Ribs. You're probably already subscribed to his channel. If you're subscribed to mine and you watch barbecue on YouTube, you're probably familiar with who he is. And he said, you know, not everything needs to taste like smoke, and I kind of tend to agree with him, though I like things that do taste like smoke. It's nice to have this oven. I could bake cupcakes in it, and I baked biscuits and cornbread, and they didn't have to taste like smoke. I've cooked chicken in this, whole chickens, chicken quarters, things I did not show you on video or have pictures of because I've just been practicing with it. I've cooked a lot of Walmart pizzas in it, and I really have enjoyed it. I've had no trouble controlling the fire in it. With the slider vent right here and how much wood I want to have in there. I've got some experience with cooking with live fire. I'm no expert, but I haven't had any trouble adjusting to it. If you're not used to cooking with fire and wood, you may have to take some practice time to get your temperatures just right. But I haven't had any trouble with it. I am going to invest in an infrared thermometer, and I think it's well made. I really enjoy having it. I want to thank the folks at Ñuke Barbecue USA, formerly Real Fire Barbecue, for allowing me to acquire this oven. You're going to see it on my channel a lot, and I enjoy having it. You may say, why do you want to have one? Well, hardcore preppers might want to have one, you know, in case of the end of the world as we know it type situations. I'm not a hardcore prepper, but I live in hurricane country and I want to prepare for hurricanes. It's nice to know I can bake without having to use a smoker or a grill. And if the electricity goes out, we've got a generator, but it's a gas-powered generator. I wouldn't have to put the oven strain on the generator during those times. Also, gas, diesel, and propane can be hard to find in a hurricane aftermath or a disaster aftermath. But in the hurricane aftermath, wood is not hard to find. Now, a lot of it would still be green because it'd be fresh cut. But since the wood chamber is not part of the cooking chamber, I could burn whatever kind of wood I wanted to in here. I've got no desire to burn pine in there, but it's nice to know I could, or, you know, pressure treated plywood or something, but it's nice to know I could without it affecting the food flavor. you know? So it's nice to know that I have this option available. Holidays, I can bake a whole turkey in here. Not everybody likes smoked turkeys. I don't know why. I love them. But, you know, if we're hosting Thanksgiving or something, I could cook a baked turkey in here, have a turkey going in the smoker or the grill, and the oven would be free for the ladies inside the home to make the casseroles and everything at Thanksgiving time. So there's a lot of advantages to having something like this, making side dishes for your barbecue or your cookout, green bean casserole, stuff like that. You could easily bake in here while everybody's outside your home. If you got an outdoor kitchen, it'd be a great addition to any outdoor kitchen. Anyway, I've run my mouth a little off. I'm enjoying having this. I want to thank the folks at Ñuke Barbecue USA for allowing me the opportunity to get this oven. If you're in the market for a wood-fired oven, this one works. It works well. I've had it nearly 2 months now, and I got to tell you, I really do enjoy having it. So thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue and this review of the Ñuke Wood Fired Oven.